In other words, Aristotle's advice here is that don't directly look for happiness or eudaimonia, even though this is the final end of all your action. Because looking directly for happiness, you will never find it. Then what strategy should we adopt if we want to lead a life of happiness as our successful life? Aristotle's ingenious answer is this: only if you are wholeheartedly devoted to the actualization of your personal potential or talent will you then achieve happiness as a consequence. Because you will be happy only if you fully actualize your personal potential and talents. And this is the ultimate purpose of your existence. Attaining happiness in this way would define your life as a successful one, with the potentials and talents fully developed. In the comic episode, Indy is inspired by Aristotle's theory of life. She learns that her previous self-legated lifestyle is indeed a waste and a wrong decision. As a human being, she can have a lot to achieve, with her happiness fulfilled at the same time, and this applies to everyone, including you. My last point is about the application of Aristotle's doctrine of the golden mean. One special feature of Aristotle's theory is that in our moral cultivation, we shouldn't aim at over-precision. Instead, we should start with our common sense and then refine it through the doctrine of the golden mean. The doctrine is about taking an appropriate action at the right time, in the right place, to the right person, without going to the extremes of either end. For instance, as we've seen in the comic story, a courageous action is good, but it would become cowardice if it were underperformed, or impulsivity if it were overdone. To aim at the appropriate action, we need practice and learn from the role models in order to form the best possible judgment for taking different actions in different scenarios. In a sense, this honing process will never end, because however well we have acted, there is always room for us to make improvement when all the stakeholders are taken into consideration. Exactly because of this never-ending process of honing our judgment and action, there is a point for us to apply the doctrine of the golden mean. In a nutshell, Aristotle's advice here is, first, we always need to deliberate before taking an action for a better and more appropriate result. And second, maybe even more importantly, we always need to evaluate and seek further ways of improvement after taking any action. Aristotle would further add the steps as necessary for the moral cultivation. We need to repeat the appropriate action and turn it into our habit. Then we internalize the habit as our disposition through the repeated applications of the doctrine of the golden mean. The goal of all this, of course, is to sharpen the edge of our excellence in the virtue of our character through the good use of our rational judgment. This is how we lead a successful life that is also according to the natural order of the universe, a life of happiness.